Well, we all know the importance of getting an annual medical checkup, but what about an annual estate planning checkup? Yep, in today's the Legal Know, Vincent J. Russo is here with why that is so important to our well-being. So, Vincent, time for us all to schedule another checkup.
That's right, another checkup. And I think it really is important for people 50 years of age or older. Every year you're getting your annual healthcare checkup. And so I am suggesting you also, once a year, good time of year right now, to do an annual estate planning checkup. Why? It's important because you want to make sure you're protected, your assets are protected, and your family's protected. And so you'd implement an estate plan, and it's not once you're done and it's over. You really need to be checking in on an annual basis with your estate planning attorney.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people do feel like, okay, once and done, we're good.
Right.
But obviously not the case. So what's involved in this annual checkup?
Okay, so there are three components, I would say, or areas that you would want to check on. One is, have there been any life changes over the past year that would impact your estate plan? Any changes in your finances that would impact how you're paying your bills currently, or the size of your estate for estate tax planning purposes? And lastly, your estate planning documents. They should be reviewed. Have there been any changes that would impact those documents, and making sure that you have the right people in the right place and the plan meets your desires?
Okay, expound a little bit on the life changes.
Okay.
What kind of things would be
right.
typical life changes that we have to really think about?
Sure. So here's a list of life changes. First, changes in your health. Do you need long-term care planning, for example? Birth of a child or a grandchild, so you want to provide for them in your estate plan. A marriage where you want to take care of your spouse. Unfortunately, you may have lost a family member, so in that case, maybe you have to change beneficiaries, or you name them as an executor in your will. Fiduciary appointments. Maybe the person you put in your durable power of attorney isn't quite the right person at this time. So you might want to make a change there. As I mentioned, changes in finances to ensure that you're managing your assets properly and paying your bills. Need for government benefits. Perhaps you're on SSI or Medicaid and you now have an eligibility issue or a problem, or perhaps you need those services. So planning there would be important. And if you move out of state, your whole estate plan needs to be reviewed, and to make sure the documents you have will work in that other state, or perhaps you need to redo all the documents under the laws of that other jurisdiction.
That one surprised me. I didn't realize how important that was, moving
Yes.
out of state. And obviously a lot of people who are older are moving out of state.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I know, for that, a little more information on that, you always offer free advice or actually free resources on your website.
Yeah, so for example, asset holdings. I suggest you have a list of all of your assets and what they are, who owns them, who the beneficiary may be of them, and what they're worth. And so what would be important is just write up a list, or use an Excel chart using software. And each year, at the end of the year, I would say you would update that list and share that with your estate planning attorney. So if you're not sure how to go about it, you can go to our website, and at vjrussolaw.com/questionnaires. And we have a questionnaire that you can access that would be helpful and there's no charge for that. Feel free, download it.
Okay.
So why share that information with the attorney? Because the attorney wants to be involved in helping ensure you are protected. So if a crisis occurs, and the attorney gets that call, if they have current information, they can jump right in and help you. But if you haven't spoken to that attorney or shared that information in 16 years or more, and then you're calling them, and the attorney has to start from scratch. And so a lot of stress at the time, and maybe things will be missed. So staying on top of your estate plan and having that relationship with the estate planning attorney is so important.
Yeah. I just can't get over how I'm guessing many people think it's one and done, and it is
Right.
not. This annual estate planning is so important. Now, you talked about reviewing your estate planning documents. What's the
Right.
concern there?
Yeah, so there are two areas that we would look at in reviewing your estate planning documents. One, do they meet your current desires to make sure the plan is doing what you want it to do in terms of how you're managing your assets, how you're leaving those assets to family members or beneficiaries, and then have there been any changes in the law that would impact your estate plan? So, for example, in June of 2021, the Durable Power of Attorney statute changed. So there's a better version out there than perhaps the power of attorney you signed 10 years ago. So it should be updated. It makes a lot of sense.
Right, it really does.
Yeah, so
and we
I'm-
don't know the changes in laws,
That's
too.
right.
You really need the professional.
Yeah, and the laws are changing much more often than in the past. And so it's important to stay on top of it. A lot of tax law changes will be occurring over the next couple years. So you want to be on top of that as well. So this may sound a little harsh, but not only you have the annual healthcare checkup, but also your car, right? Once a year, you bring your car in for a service, right? And so the question I'm posing today, are you worth more than your car? And if you are, have an annual estate planning checkup.
This is so important. This is just excellent advice.
Oh, thanks.
I think there are a lot of people out there who don't think to do it annually.
right.
Am I right?
That's
I mean,
right.
you have people coming back to you, like you said, 16 years later, who haven't done anything.
And
I
it's
just think
so
that's pretty common.
so difficult at that time. One of the things we've incorporated in our law firm is our Peace of Mind program, which includes an annual checkup. So clients for an annual fee get a list of services, including the annual checkups. That's how strongly we believe in it.
Very quickly, one more time, the website for the questionnaire.
Okay, vjrussolaw.com/questionnaires.
Okay. All right, Vincent, thank you. Important information. We appreciate it.